Hi, my name is Sarah Buszkiewicz, and today I'm going to tell you my story about how and my process of recovering from I tore my ACL. So it all started really when I started playing soccer at the ripe old age of 3 years old. It wasn't very competitive, just going to the little gym and kicking a little ball around, doing those little classes where you might see the little kids and it's like magnet ball because the ball's right there and then all the kids are just flocking all around it. So it was basically like that. And so then as I got older, I played town soccer for my town. Still magnet ball. Didn't really have that many skills. Probably might have scored a goal or two, but not that big of a deal. And so as I grew older, obviously my skills progressed and I got into club soccer when I was in middle school. And actually, I started playing club soccer when I was in maybe fourth grade. I don't know. It's all a blur. But anyways, I started playing club soccer. I began to play for this club called GPS. And I loved my team. They were great. I learned a lot. But eventually, because of the distance, I had to switch to a different club called FC Stars. And I still currently play there now. And so I started playing club soccer. That was great. And also, I got into middle school and I started playing for the team there. It was wicked fun. And so now I am a junior in high school. And last year, when I was a sophomore, I tore my ACL. So it was a rough experience, but basically the doctor told me that I had been gradually tearing my ACL, which means that it wasn't like one big injury that kind of did me in. It was a bunch of little tackles and stuff because I play pretty aggressively, which I had to when I played my high school soccer season. I was lucky enough to make the varsity team as a freshman. It was so fun, but then I had to miss out on my junior year because the first game in the first half of my club season, the spring of my sophomore year, so last spring, I felt something pop, and my mom was luckily at the game. She's a doctor, and she was like, "You're not going back in." As much as I protested and wanted to go back into the game, she's like, "You're done." So then we went to the doctor. My mom was like, "It might be your ACL." And at that point I was like, oh my God, because ACL, it's like, that's like the big horror word. Like, it's not really spoken because it's awful. And I was like thinking about if I had to like go through all those weeks of recovery, and I was not happy with it. I went in, I got my MRI, and then I met up with my surgeon, and they told me all about my ACL, a bunch of fancy words that I don't know. And so then we planned my surgery date, and it all hit me that I was not going to play for at least 6 months. It was very, very tough to like understand that. And so after my surgery, I had to get in this like machine that like stretched my legs, so it like pushed it back and forth to keep the muscles going. Rehab was tough for me because I did everything that I had to do, but it was just tough on my mind because I was doing this all throughout when I was supposed to be playing soccer my high school year, my junior year. And that was, I still like, it's very, very hard. And so I had to sit on the bench the whole season, and watched my teammates, and it was great, but it was also hard because I went to all the practices and games and I couldn't play. I couldn't touch the ball. And because I'd been playing soccer for so long, it just ached my heart. But happy news, I got cleared to play in December, and I got to play a couple games, and I got in a lot of practices with my club team before obviously this pandemic. But I wanted to make sure that no one would have to go through this again, because once I went through it, I was like, oof, I didn't really know that much about it until I went through it. So I had started trying to plan it's called Youth Venture, like a presentation almost, to like help people get more aware and do stretches to try and not get one of those major injuries. But it taught me that I'm stronger than I thought I was. I have a lot of good friends. Like a couple days after my surgery, a lot of my friends came to my house and they brought me presents, but it wasn't the presents, it was just that they were there to like cheer me on throughout the whole process. It just made me cry. And I did have some days where I was very sad and cried a lot, but I came out of it stronger than before, and I know like how I can get through stuff and that it's not the end of the world, and that I do love soccer, but it just made me so appreciate it so much more than I did before my injury. It's hard to explain, but it's once you go through something, which I'm sure it's going to be after we finish going through this whole COVID situation, you don't take it for granted anymore, and it just makes your life that much better, and it just enriches it because you understand what it's like to not have it, so you just love it that much more. Anyways, that was my kind of sad but eventually happy little story there. I hope you guys are all staying nicely safe, healthy. I hope everybody gets through this, and we just need to stay in this together for everyone. So I hope that this video helped brighten your day. I just, happy spring.